My first controversial video, Get it? Because TikTok has a lot of controversy surrounding it, saying that it's China's next big weapon to destroy an entire generation. Buckle up, because we are going on a journey today. Disclaimer though, there are going to be triggers, so keep that in mind. So I've had my fair share of loving and hating food, body dysmorphia, and too many slow eating challenges for the wrong reason. The stuff I'm sharing today is stuff that I've never shared before, but I thought this was super valuable and important for other people who are going through the same things, because I'm going to reveal today the one realization I had to finally like my body. After these precious minutes that we're going to spend together today, you will not only finally know how to treat yourself like the queen that you are, but you will also already be feeling much better about yourself. The agenda today is my story, the problem that we face as a society, especially for girls. Guys feel some other things too. And body positivity, whether that's a solution. And then the real solution, finally, the reality. So without further ado, let's go! In freshman year of college, I gained some weight. And after my mom saw me following my first term at Caltech, she said,
你脸圆了. Oh, 你壮了.
Hearing that made me go like, no. That is not me. I can go back to the old me. I started, for the first time in my life, dieting. I wanted to lose that weight, and quickly. And then because of this first instance of someone noticing of my body being different, I became more hyper aware and hated, even though I hate using that word, irony, I hated parts of my body. But this conscious decision of deciding to diet for the first time was a disastrous turning point of my life that really just absorbed my life for the next 4 years, because it quickly spiraled into something that I thought I would never lose, which is control. I felt like I didn't have control over my eating habits and, more importantly, my mind. And one reason was that I starved myself by having my dinners, avoiding carbs, and intermittent fasting all at the same time. Yeah, don't do that. I was constantly thinking about my next meal, and if I were to go out that weekend, then I would think about how I can reduce calories in the meals leading up to that weekend. I would always look into the mirror and just wish to be the old me again, like the lighter me, and compare myself to pictures of my past. And then, in fact, in my photo album, I would save pictures of, I don't know, like K-pop idols, celebrities, and like pictures of the old me in a dedicated album just to use as inspiration, so then I wouldn't stop with my diet.
I am going to create an environment that is so toxic.
It was all really terrible, and you know what? I was also, at the same time, attending Caltech, where the schoolwork was freaking hard, and that was just insane to have something like my body and food be consuming so much of my brain at that time. I knew it was crazy, like not good, and something I didn't want to do, but I couldn't stop it. And yeah, that's because I didn't know how. It was a long journey, that's for another video, but after 4 years, I can finally say that I have control again. In fact, I eat rice like every night now without thinking twice about it, and I would not touch rice at dinner before. And I don't know if you can tell, but I'm Asian. Rice is an essential part of our diet. And guess what? After all that time, I'm actually the heaviest that I've ever been, but I'm also the most at peace with my body. I'm not completely through the healing process yet, so some things really remind me of my old thought patterns, but I can safely say that while it's still a struggle sometimes, what I'm going to share with you today has literally changed my life. The true solution is more important than other temporary fixes like blocking people on social media, etc., because while those things are helpful, like still do those, the underlying issue is still there, and we can't all live under a rock. That would just be avoiding the symptoms rather than finding that cure. To find that, I had to first understand the problem and all the different pieces that go into why we so obsess over our bodies. Pop culture emphasizes the importance of beauty, we've heard it all before, and it also warps our conception of it. Big butts and hourglass figures are now the trend, but the issue is that your body is not a trend that you can just change on a whim like your clothes. Even though we may already know all these things about why we care so much, yada yada yada, you've heard it from other videos as well, we have too much trouble breaking away from all these societal standards and cultural expectations per se that are just like ingrained in us. And like, let's face it, like everyone wants to be attractive. Right now, the standard is that skinny is attractive. That's part of the problem and the kind of mindset that we've just been having shoved in our faces all the time. You know that saying that a girl's dream is not to find her soulmate, but it's so that she can eat as much food as she wants without getting fat? Yeah, well, there's this thing called genes. Not this kind of gene, where it determines your predisposition for being slimmer or bigger here, bigger there, you know? So that's part of the problem too. We can't all be skinny because our genes are just not made that way. For example, Blackpink. Blackpink is gorgeous. Every single one of them is so pretty, but also in their own way. Granted, the one thing that, well, they're similar in many ways. One of the things that is similar across all of these four members is that they are quite slim. But guess what? Jisoo would always talk about how she gains weight easily, and so therefore when she's eating out with the other girls, she has to put her fork down sooner. But Lisa, on the other hand, she's what we would call goals, because she says she can eat as much as she wants and then it's just not possible for her to get bigger. With these things in mind and what you can't control, that's why I think for the majority of people who aren't blessed with Lisa's genes, that we try to reach this unrealistic expectation, thinking that, you know, the influencers, they did this dieting and they ate this way, so that's why I have to do that to achieve the same thing. But that's not the case. Relating to influencers and the world of social media that we've gotten so stuck in, especially since COVID, is that girls look up to people because they look a certain way and fit a certain standard.
And I said, give me like 3 weeks. And I had to lose 16 pounds down today to be able to fit this, but it was such a challenge.
There was a lot of backlash on Kim Kardashian for promoting a certain unhealthy behavior, and yes, it's very probable that she would influence other girls to starve themselves. But again, this is not the root of the problem. All these celebrities, influencers, are also influenced by society in themselves, and newsflash, capitalism and its emphasis on physical appearances. Blowing up on the news a while back was a picture of Kendall Jenner, and then I was gonna say astronaut girl, but I don't think that's her real title. Oh, she is an astronaut. Aspiring astronaut Alyssa Carson. This sparked controversy when social media experts were slamming society for celebrating how slim and skinny and perfect, so-called, Kendall Jenner was, while no one knew who this Alyssa was. And yeah, exactly. I'm guilty of it too, because I literally had to look her up. And yes, I feel like such a hypocrite. Bruh. But dude, this girl is only 19 and she became the youngest person in history to pass all NASA aerospace tests. But nobody knows her. That's like the prime example of all this emphasis put on these celebrities for doing things like getting their lips filled. And because of that, they can sell tons of products, while this girl is so freaking amazing and is probably gonna, you know, have some big discovery later in space. It's so crazy because she worked so hard while Kendall Jenner, Kendall is, you know, just wearing a bikini. I can say all I want that I admire Alyssa Carson more than Kendall Jenner, but the fact is that I, just like you probably, know who Kendall Jenner is, but not Alyssa Carson. This is not, again, to say that we're wrong for thinking this, because, like, again, it's just ingrained in us, so that's where we have to shift that mindset, as I'll explain later in the video. And yeah, like, I still think certain body types or people are pretty, but sometimes I just wonder if I really think they're pretty or it's just society telling me they're pretty. Body positivity has emerged as a solution for people like ourselves to be more accepting of all body types, shapes, sizes. While the idea is not wrong, it's turned into quite the phenomenon where girls, rather large girls on TikTok, are wearing fewer pieces of fabric on themselves to show that they're body positive. I'm gonna be straight with you, okay? Can I be straight with you? Yeah, we're friends here, okay? Tess Holiday is, oh man, I'm gonna be canceled for this. Tess Holiday is unhealthy.
5'3" woman to be 300 pounds is actually dangerous. Do you not accept alcohol? They will.
She's killing herself.
No.
When you put a morbidly obese person on a magazine and glorify it, that's just as unhealthy as anorexia.
Why is she on the cover of a magazine showing off her larger body proportions when it's not even like larger hips or like bone structure? It's like literally like the unhealthy things that are making her bigger. So okay, I said it. I had to get it out there. This is why body positivity is not the solution here. Or at least what it's turned into is not the solution. Trust me, Urban Dictionary's definition is much more brutal. You can check that out on your own time. Body positivity doesn't even work. You can't force someone to be like, oh, I am beautiful. Say they're beautiful. And then they'll suddenly feel it and stop subconsciously hating parts of what they look like because other people look differently and society tells them they're pretty. You can't make yourself think something is beautiful when you already have these preset standards. I tried this too. I tried telling myself, you look great.
You look good. Don't change.
But inside, there are still parts where I couldn't just trick myself into liking. So you can't just use affirmations, even if they're a little helpful, and just say you're beautiful. That's not tackling the root of the problem. In fact, my sister would always tell me how slim I am. And then she'd be like,
Why are you always trying to eat less? Like, you're already so skinny.
but would I believe her?
No.
And you telling yourself that you look good is not actually believing it necessarily because it's from a tip that someone else shared. So it's from an external factor forcing you to just like say something and like it'll become reality. It doesn't work that way. It's not truly from the inside. Body positivity is literally like saying everything's okay when it's not okay instead of trying to fix the problem. Your mindset. While I still want to look a certain way sometimes, I no longer obsess over what a single bite of food is gonna do to my hopes of getting a body like a K-pop star. And overall, I'm so much happier and live life just more carefree, going out to enjoy food because food is amazing and I live to eat. I got here by reframing my mindset in terms of 3 things. And in this part, I don't know why I picked that up. In this section, I'm going to be asking you guys questions. You need to think of your own answers, okay? Just do it. If you don't listen to me, at least listen to Nike.
Just do it.
What does a toned body represent? Oh wait. Health. Good job. One more question. What is one thing you did that you remember where you felt strong or thankful for your body, or you couldn't have done it without health? For me, that's walking on the treadmill on an incline and then bumping that incline up a few percentage points, feeling like I'm dying, but knowing I can get through it. It's also thinking back to how in college I played basketball. All of this is not possible without health, which is generally what a nice, attractive body represents. Fit and healthy people look better because a certain weight is healthy. There's a reason why we don't want subcutaneous fat on our organs. Sorry, I'm so dumb. I mean visceral fat. It's because that's unhealthy. And also on the flip side, if you're too skinny. So, okay, real quick. Yes, I know, again, like there are genetic predispositions where some people look bigger or some people are just so skinny, like they can't gain weight. Okay, I'm not talking about those. I'm saying like in general, also when you see like a skinny person, that also does not look healthy. In fact, when I was the lightest I've ever been, well, not counting when I was a baby, okay? First of all, I was still not satisfied with myself. And second of all, my parents would tell me that I look too skinny and unhealthy and that my arms were too thin. And that's coming out of a place of concern for my health. So in this first mindset shift, I want us to think about having that ideal body as the automatic byproduct of being healthier, because that's what it represents. People say Tess Holliday shouldn't be on the magazine because she represents being unhealthy. Kim Kardashian gets backlash because she is promoting starving, which is obviously not healthy. So go on this journey of making yourself healthier. And if you already are healthy, then be happy about that. Happy people look better too. I lost my period during those rough years, and I thought it was a sign that I was doing drastic enough things that I would be losing weight. But no, it was literally my body screaming for help that's unhealthy, and it can't do one of the most amazing things that a woman can do. And this goes to my next point. What is a characteristic about yourself that you are proud of that has nothing to do with your appearance? I'll wait. I know, it's a hard one. Just kidding, it shouldn't be, okay? You should know that you have many amazing characteristics and personalities. In addition to health, we need to shift our mindset to prioritize what's on the inside. So your brain, for example, you could be super kind and talented in a certain way. You could be a great writer, an artist, great at science, be able to lead. These are things that have nothing to do with your body. And I can't prove my point without tooting my horn a little bit. You know, I went to Caltech, and do you know how hard it is to get into Caltech? And you, no doubt, have accomplished amazing things too. Like, how can you do disjustice to yourself and the amazing things you've done by focusing on things that mean so little? The solution is not affirmations about what you don't feel like you are like yet. Saying you're beautiful when you're not actually feeling like that yet. Or is it really helpful to say that you're great at math when you suck at that moment? Like, is it really helpful to say you are great at not procrastinating when you're doing it at the moment?
No, that's not going to change it.
The key is about feeling proud of what you already did and already are. Why do other people love you? What do people like about you? Are your friends with you because you have a snatch waist? If so, okay, now I'm judging you for what's on the inside. You need better taste in friends, bro. Think of at least one thing. And if that's what they love, that's one piece of you that you would not list higher in the order of importance as your body, right? As long as you are healthy, the appearance part would not be why people love you. And therefore, it should not be why you love yourself. Sean, my boyfriend, always tells me how beautiful I am. And while those are very, very nice to hear, what makes me happier is because he acknowledges things like my resilience or like how hard I work in whatever I do and my kindness or how much I understand him. I'm sure that like if I were less to his standards of, I don't know, attractiveness, that he would still love me because of those other aspects that then become those factors of attraction. My parents too, your family, they love you unconditionally because you're their blood. Well, you're your own blood. So first of all, loving yourself means you take care of your health first above that byproduct of attractiveness. And we need to see ourselves in the way that other people see us. And the only way to do that is by understanding and being proud of and trying to do better in those ways that people already like us for. So my parents, again, they were so worried for me when I came back one Caltech term looking a lot skinnier. It just made me feel pretty guilty for what I had done, that it was a disservice to not only me, but to them, because they invest so much time and energy and unconditional love for those aspects that are so much more than how I look. And I am just torturing my body because I have this other standard. I suddenly, in that moment, many moments, think that is more important. Remember why other people love you. And also think about why you love or like other people. Would you want someone you love to treat themselves so badly? These three aspects of this mindset switch that I made to help myself get to where I am today all comes down to one concept. Ooh, the anticipation. Body neutrality. According to Urban Dictionary, this means to have a neutral relationship with how you look. Unlike the body positivity movement, body neutrality focuses on pushing away biases based on looks, rather than solely embracing them. See, key here. Body neutrality emphasizes not thinking about your body, while other movements encourage constant self-praise. Yep, I see that on TikTok a lot. The goal is to base none of your self-worth on your appearance. Hey, isn't this what I've been talking about? You see, I actually did not even know this word that people use nowadays, because the 3 concepts that I described earlier, those are more important, because by really understanding all of that is how you can, like on your own, naturally like yourself, like your body more. I think I'm saying body a lot. But yeah, so the only way to stop hating your body is by, if you had to put one word to it, do body neutrality. Don't fixate on the body. And apparently a lot of people agree and find this to be the key solution. Okay, I have proof, because I have a comment here which got the most likes I ever have had. More than all my videos combined, honestly. Think about this. What is more valuable to you? Is it your phone or the phone case? Okay, so if it's the phone, then why would we spend so much time fixating on what's outside of it when the valuable thing is the phone itself? It's not a perfect analogy, but okay, it gets the flavor of what I'm trying to get across here. So before, I would wish that I could get back to the real me, the best me, but the truth is that your real you is constantly evolving and hopefully improving. So your old you is not the same. So the old you, even if you're skinnier, does not mean it was better. You've gained much more experience and skills and the other important things I talked about earlier in those years. We should be more proud of and try to improve in not how we look, but how we think, how we act. The skinnier me is not the real me. So by basing my value being neutral about my body means that I am always the real me. And even better, the real me means all the aspects of me that are irreplaceable, just like your personality. You're a special snowflake. That's a corporate term, by the way. So treat yourself like that. And ironically, by not focusing on how good you look and by being neutral about it, by instead looking at your health and those other things, you're going to naturally look better, probably the best you've ever been, and you'll be amazed and be like,
Oh my gosh, why did I not do this sooner?
and happier because you earned that. You earned that inner beauty that will emanate from the inside. And I'm being so dramatic now, but One Direction put it best. You don't know you're beautiful. And things like working hard in school, those other pursuits that you have, those are more difficult than dropping $1,000 to get a BBL. So that means they're more worthwhile and valuable and won't possibly kill you like a BBL. Humans are visual creatures. I get it. Pretty privilege is real. Even Alyssa Carson said that girls can be whatever they want. If they want to be a model and be an actress or other things that require somewhat type of look, yeah, they can do that too. But in this reality that we are all trapped in, we might not be able to escape those society things and capitalism, but we can change how we think about these things. We do not need to be unhappy whenever we look in the mirror, being self-conscious when we're just taking a picture and supposed to be living our best lives and eating food, because food is delicious. It would have been nice to do that sooner, to know these sooner. Just answer those questions to yourself and internalize them, so then you will really start liking your body. Write down those answers if it helps, and then work on those things. And then you'll be well on your way to changing your mindset to body neutrality, and finally not only accepting your body, but loving it. I really need a stretch, man. Love yourself, and your body is a part of that. So this was me being vulnerable for one of the first times on the internet. What a fun place to be vulnerable at. But I just want to show that, yeah, like these struggles can really happen to anyone. I never thought I'd be one to have problems with like food and eating and all those things. Also, anyone can get out of it. Like right now, I'm no longer triggered. The only thing that triggers me now is my Gchat pings, which is probably my boss telling me I got work to do. Anyway, thanks so much for going on this journey with me. You can unbuckle your seatbelts now. Let me know if you liked this type of video, and if you'd like to see more of these. Love yourself, and life will be so much easier. Trust me.